So you know what to do to indicate this to the rest of us.
What are you doing?
At this exact moment, our dear Sten is on a ladder on the side of his little. I don't know how you call these. The reference would be the movie The Commitments. That sort of house that's sort of narrow and has a yard in the back.
Oh, all right, okay, yeah, terrace house.
Yeah, he lives in one of those, and right now he's on a ladder, nailing some of those strips of metal with spiky bits that you put on buildings so the pigeons don't land there.
Anti-pigeonness. Ian, just to let you know, pigeons caused an immense amount of trouble last session.
Right. Okay.
Pigeons are evil. And he's doing that at this exact moment.
Perfect.
Just nailing. He's got his MP3 player. He's listening to Pulp, and that's where he is at this moment.
Excellent. So there you are, banging away, and that's great. Let us know what ability you think you would be focusing on or utilizing.
I've just noticed the pigeon themed abilities in your character sheet.
Yeah, well...
see, those went sour really quick.
We didn't really expect the pigeons were just plain old atmosphere backdrop, something kind of fun and chaos magic-y, and they just turned into a whole harbinger of everything. So, not to make things difficult, but go ahead and continue to do things that he does. If this doesn't seem ability-worthy, then take it to something that lets us know a little bit more about Sten and what you like about Sten.
Okay, well, he's doing that. While he's doing it, he's also trying to fortify his house to prevent Sean from popping up again.
Right, I get that.
So it would be actually a wording ritual. Yeah. So I guess I could go with Chaos Magic for that.
Okay. So let's do just a little difficulty roll. And see if you can make your Chaos Magic stronger, because obviously if you're going to use it to defend against Sean when he shows up, you're going to want that to be stronger than it was. So,
alrighty, we've got a beautiful success.
All right, then. Well, that's what you've got. Let's see what I've got. I have a success, although it is hardly beautiful. My number is as low as you can get for a success, which is a 2. So you got a success with a higher number, I presume, correct?
Yes, I had a 5.
Okay. So at the moment you have a marginal victory, and the only bad thing about a marginal victory is it gets you no extra points. If you spend 3 points for a minor victory, you'll increase your Chaos Magic by 3 points.
Nah, it's not that a momentous circumstance.
Okay. No problem.
I don't have 3 points anyway.
Oh, okay. So, wait. I'm not sure I was clear. You would gain 3 points in Chaos Magic, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, but no, I'm not spending it anyway.
Okay, good enough. So, therefore, I'm going to narrate. I'm going to say that with each bang of these tiles or shingles or whatever on earth they are, anti-pigeon strips, with each of these, you drive the memory of Sean out of your head. It becomes less and less and less important. Remember, this is all about, the danger that he presents to your way of life, and you know that you are basically magically reducing its impact on you by doing this.
I'm not feeding him.
Right, yeah, exactly. You're like, bang, that's the end of that. Bang, okay.
Did Rod actually add him to a sheet? I can't remember.
I believe he did.
Good.
Yes. And so, exactly. And so I think that you are, doing this and perhaps reviewing in your mind that you have 2 children. Thank you very much. You have this life. You have this wife. You've got a friend who's going to help you keep it, right? You've got a new friend who's going to help you out with this. And there you go. So unless you want to take us through a few more actions of Sten's so we get to know him better, or actions that you want to take that are significant in one fashion or another, it's up to you. or Ian, as the interesting player, can start thinking about stuff.
I'm pondering stuff, but I'm not ready to jump in yet.
Okay. And so therefore, as the narrator, I can do nothing except describe what you tell me Sten does. You don't. Here's an urgent. I know I'm talking about play rather than doing it. In this game, you don't have to plan ahead. You don't have to say, well, I'm going to do this so this can happen. Let's really learn about the character. Let's learn about any aspect, whether it's, hey, you know what? Here's a suggestion. Look at your cosmic self, right? Your neg entropy.
Yeah.
Could that be doing something on its own?
Oh, definitely. That's the whole point of him. Things when he's doing his work properly and doing what he's supposed to be doing, things just work better in the city.
Right.
There's less traffic jams, less crime.
Right. So
less
in that
brownouts.
case, if we want to actually, this is the kind of thing that we would learn. All he knows is that he's banging in these shingles, really. Right? I'm not saying he's completely naive about his neg entropy, but it's not like he has to make it happen consciously. It's emanating from him. Let's see with every bang, we can expand our attention outward, right? Ripple by ripple, out into the city. Less and less stressed, less and less hassle, less and less negativity. Life is tough enough. Can't a guy make his city a better place to be? Now...
But then he's going to, I think I'd actually have to spend a point here. He'd come to the city with a capital T and a capital C. And that is the source of all corruption, evil, and entropy in the city.
I guess. I mean, not really. I mean, all I'm saying is roll neg entropy and enjoy watching it go up.
Hello? Did I lose you?
Yeah, we just lost one sound. You're back.
Oh, shoot. How's this?
Are you there? You good? You good?
Yeah.
All right. So, Juan, what I was saying, and this is the thing, is that I don't want to guide you because these are supposed to be your choices. But again, you're thinking a little bit ahead. You're saying, well, if he's going to do that, then there's going to be this opposition, and it's going to be this. And I'm saying all the system is saying is that if you roll neg entropy, it might go up, and it probably will.
Oh. Yes,
Because when you pose it for yourself, there is no antagonistic ability. You're just rolling against the difficulty. It can't go down. There could be, if you fumble or whatever, then yes, there could be big, massive effects. But, on the other hand, we get to watch your neg entropy do something important.
Very well. So yes, then just peace and stability and order and harmony and...
The nicest possible thing, the nicest thing you could be doing.
Exactly. And I've got a success.
Excellent. With
Not
what?
amazing. Just a 6.
Just a 6. Okay. So, I am pleased to report that you have a minor victory. And so what that means is that you end up getting a +3 to your neg entropy. And we actually get to watch the neighborhood, because it's minor, it's not the whole city, but it is quite a bit. A lot of people have a better day.
Alright.
And there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with enjoying the fact that, this is what Sten does. And as long as he keeps his chaos magic, nice and minor, and as long as he does the things he does, the world becomes nicer.
Very well. So yeah.
So that's not such a bad thing.
He's doing his work, having a good day.
And so when you want, you can say, well, I'm ready to concede my turn. And of course, the interesting player can decide whether this was interesting enough without him, or can think about what happened in the previous scene and say something's going to happen because of that previous scene, or is going to make your life, difficult because of inherent things about you. So it's kind of up to Ian in that regard.
Yeah,
With no pressure, though. I mean, that's one thing I want to get away from. The interesting player should not feel pressured.
Well, my mind's racing to Galaxy Jane and how we met and how there's unresolved issues in recent history. Right? Maybe that's why he's doing this centering thing.
Right. So you're thinking about the way it worked was clearly you and Jane are going to have to take the stabilizing of the cosmos into your own hands, because the Acceleration Bureau is a big pain in the ass about it, and doesn't seem to get it. So that's what I'm remembering. So as long as as long as we're just filling in the captions, that's what I would write in them. Ian, it's up to you. Speak now or forever hold your peace, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So how much narrative control do I get at this point? Can I
Quite a lot. You're more or less the GM at this point.
Okay.
Including the introduction of your character or any other character who's not Galaxy Jane or on Galaxy Jane's sheet.
Sure.
Because you're going to be using your own sheet and Juan's.
So if it's okay with you, Juan, I'm going to frame you heading down the street to the convenience store, where your wife has asked you to run a few errands. And the convenience store is about half a mile away. It's a pleasant walk, but obviously, I think you feel you're coming to a zone which you've been able to harmonise with your bank, and you can feel the energy beyond is more disrupted. And you're walking down there's a passage. There's a shortcut you can take from where you live to get to the shops. There's a passage. Yeah, you don't like your wife taking it. It could be a bit, Mugger's Alley, but you'll take it because it's quicker today. And then see running down towards you, there are 3 figures. 2 figures are obviously chasing the figure in front. The figure in front is dressed in a blue outfit with wings, and the 2 figures behind are dressed as your kind of classic FBI dark suits, white shirts, black tie, and sunglasses. And maybe looks as though they're talking into earpieces. And they're shouting, "Come back, Blue Streak! Your presence in this reality is an aberration. We must adjust to the situation."
Oh, excellent! So what you're going to do is actually be attacking some ability of Stan Duncan, using some ability either off your sheet or off of his, and it sounds like it's coming off of your sheet.
Yeah.
Excellent. And so this is fine. Please feel free to say what ability you're attacking with.
So it's going to be President and Gone. This is the Blue Streak catapulted out of...
Oh, this is the... Okay. So wait, Juan, you're the one. Actually, Juan, you're the one who... hold on a second. Juan, you're the one who put the other Blue Streak on your sheet, right?
Uh-huh.
Ian, you should use that as the ability.
Oh, great. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah,
so
if you got it on your sheet,
it's right. And remember, you guys are all playing like crisscrossing off each other's sheets as far as other characters are concerned. So, cool. Therefore, what ability are you attacking?
So I think this, because it feels like it's attacking his negentropic, his attempt to make things stable and calm.
Sure, this is the... Yeah, well, no wonder. What, you're going to call this a coincidence? This is no coincidence, right? This is the extreme disruption hitting the fulcrum, the keystone of stability here. So therefore, you're attacking the neg entropy. You could actually attack either neg entropy or the fulcrum. If you attack neg entropy, you're doing super versus cosmic, which gives Juan a hero point, and there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go super versus cosmic.
Right.
I think it's
so Juan, grab yourself a hero point.
Banging his hammer. Yeah.
Right. Grab yourself a hero point, Juan, and then you can decide what to defend with, which can be the same thing that's being attacked, or it could be something else. Could be one of your big guns if you want.
See, the thing is, this is not a coincidence.
Right.
At all. And I am the Keystone, and it makes absolute sense that this weirdness would come to me in the alley that I decided to jump into. Because it's a nice... Yeah, it all makes sense to stand. This should happen. So I will defend with Keystone.
Excellent. All right. Let's see what happens. Because this could go very, very badly or very, very well for Sten.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a couple of other interesting things, too, systemically will happen in a moment. Gentlemen, both of you roll dice.
I believe it's the 13, right?
And I've got an 18.
Okay, so who's got a what in terms of outcomes?
I rolled a 12, which is a success.
Keystone, I've got... that's also a success, I guess.
Right, because you rolled over the number, but you have a mastery, right? Ian, you don't have a mastery in that, do you?
I don't know. Is there a master in your character sheet on the Blue Streak ability?
No, there isn't, because it's a brand new ability. So
right.
No.
That's okay. Yeah.
So success on a success. Who rolled the higher number?
I'm
12. 18. You're higher then.
Right. So Juan, you have a marginal victory. You want to live with that and have that be that?
No, let's make it dramatic. Let's make it a
minor victory. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you spend it, no problem. Now, a couple of things are going to happen. I'm going to narrate first, and then we're going to talk mechanics. So, What's going to happen is that the whole. Hold on just a second, gentlemen. Jonathan, you've really got to. You can't be here, okay?
I'll just wait till it goes down.
Okay, well, it won't be long.
So we can leave tea time.
I know. Okay. We have the appearance of the blue streak rushing at Sten is it's pretty straightforward. I mean, in a lot of ways, he's going to vibrate through you, and in doing so is going to completely bork the neg entropy. It's going to undo everything. If he had a complete victory on you, basically the whole city would descend into violence and riots and, lost slippers and, all manner of inconvenient and tragic events. And so it's not just being vibrated through like flash going through a wall. I mean, this is going to completely throw the neg entropy completely for a loop. But so therefore, Sten, I think you're defending with the fulcrum. Was that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Well, or the keystone, I should say.
The keystone.
Well, this is where you show what the keystone can do. And frankly, I mean the keystone will like manifest as this big triangular stone like floating right behind you, so it frames your head and shoulders in its big triangle from behind. And maybe it's even partly translucent and transparent so that it actually sort of hovers on you. I don't know. And Sten doesn't look anything like the mild accountant now. I mean, you're still dressed the same and everything, but the way he stands and the way this is a super heroic ability. This is a gesture. And so the blazing energies of the fulcrum and the vibratory energies of this blue streak, manifest in such a way that everything in the vicinity turns inside out for a second and then snaps back. And the other blue streak is flat on his back, just flat on his back, as the agents come up and apprehend him.
So you can't bring this crap to my backyard.
And the blue streak, is gasping and saying, everything here is different, and looking wildly around, and says, I'm trapped here. He says, I'll change it all back. You can't stop me, as he's being dragged away. So that's the minor victory. You completely stopped him in this circumstance, but the blue streak is not down for good. Thank you very much. The mechanics are a little bit up to you here, because at 13, if an ability is defeated, it won't change its value. 13 is the floor. You can, if you so desire, and it would be in a completely different circumstance, get rid of the ability once it's been defeated at 13. It's vulnerable to the player. The player owns it, just erasing it from the sheet because they said, you know what, that thing's done. In this case, I'm suspecting that's not the case.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because you have the option. But that's what happens from there. I will say that since we don't have to roll to find out things, that Sten is now painfully aware of the situation, and is beginning to get this nasty suspicion that the slipstream might be involved in all this. So that's something I've realized that the narrator has to do. The narrator has to put in all of the realization thought balloons. So that way the players aren't like, wait, do I know this? Do I know that? The narrator's just got his great big I know this thought balloon that he just slaps down when situations like this happen. You guys aren't idiots. You're cosmic beings. You know stuff.
All right, then I'll bounce it back to Ian. What's Ian doing?
All right. Guys, I think that's good. You guys catching it? You guys catching the mode?
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. Maybe this is a good time to stop then, and to pick up at this point, and when we're starting to feel how it goes, when Rod can join us.
Yep, sounds good.
What do you think, Juan? Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine. Ian, could you, whenever you've got a minute, can you email me exactly what the blue streak looks like? Because I need to draw him.
Okay.
We've got.
I have the. It's up to you, Juan. I have the vaguest idea, which is kind of he wears a blue outfit, which I'm thinking is actually a little bit almost Fantastic Four inspired.
Little bit utilitarian. Yeah.
Yeah. But he probably has some kind of touches to it. Some kind of symbol that represents the slipstream or whatever. But I haven't really thought about that, so it's up to you. I can think of something, or you can go crazy and define it.
But the other blue streak, what's his deal?
Yeah, I think they're all slightly different. I mean, this whole thing just emerged in play, by the way, which is very interesting tonight. Which
it's what we do.
My abilities are actually potentially entirely different blue streaks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I like about what happened tonight. The way I looked at my character. It was interesting in terms of play to look at the character sheet and say, hang on a minute, well, that's maybe a different blue streak as well. That's a president now is actually I'm splitting in some way, and that's something that's very interesting coming out of play tonight.
And what we find interesting is what we write down on the sheets and what we act upon.
Right.
Well, you saw the shield sort of test during our session.
Yeah, I like the shield. I'm really looking forward to playing the shield, by the way.
No, the shield was really cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the way you picked up on Ron's description of kind of the pulpy figure. Yeah, that is very cool.
Now I need to figure out who this big guy is.
Hey, that's quite. It's interesting. It's an interesting technique for us, isn't it? Basically, which is to say, hey, let's have a look at some of our pictures. Who is the big guy? Let's bring him into the scene, right?
Yeah, that's why we have the sketchy dude at the table is always just one of my favorite aspects of role playing. I miss it very badly. In the 80s, my first big Champions game was played with two very talented artists, and they would literally come back with real Bristol boards, comics page, real inked Bristol boards of like a page of action from the game from last week, and we were in heaven. So
hey, guys, I know it's pretty, you may have to go on. I have one quick thought, and I'm putting it out there just as a thought. It really is a kind of like shoot it down. It's fine. Was whether or not you could explain the flow as a kind of comic book panel.
Explain
flow of the game.
Right. No, that's one of the thing. Juan and I have talked about the art quite a bit from last week.
Yeah.
And one thing we really want to do is bring the power of comics into the art. It doesn't mean we have to have full comics pages, but it means that even an isolated image, you can see how it would be a panel.
Yeah.
And where and when and if possible, or we feel like it, or he feels like it, to do things in panels in the ways that comics do, especially for this kind of art, for these kinds of comics. This is in the realm of heavy metal. This is in the realm of, creepy and eerie magazines. This is in the realm of, here we go. Right, check this out.
Jesus Christ, this is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Who's he fighting? That's not Hydra, that's...
No, that's Fu Manchu.
Oh.
Oh, cool,
in his power suit.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. So, 4 pages. Those were 2 double-age spreads that he did in the monthly comic. You were supposed to get 2 issues and lay them all out so you could see them.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's very cool.